We're back with another East Asia Soft showcase, this time featuring titles we've got planned for late spring and early summer, plus a few updates on some of our biggest ongoing projects. Are you ready? Okay, let's get started. Yo ho ho! First up, we've got the latest news on our upcoming release of 7 Pirates H for Nintendo Switch. This highly anticipated booby training RPG is ready to set sail on the eShop May 12th. Plus, physical editions of 7 Pirates H will begin to ship in the same week from online retail partner PlayAsia. In case you missed it, we've recently updated the Steam demo for side-scrolling beat-em-up Fallen City Brawl. With revised gameplay mechanics and content, it's plain to see how this one is shaping up to be a real heavyweight for the genre. Be sure to wishlist Fallen City Brawl on Steam today and try it for yourself ahead of the full release later this year. Block-sliding brain teasers get a fantasy adventure twist in Slap the Rocks, a retro puzzler where you play a treasure hunter with a sword and a penchant for knocking stones around. Presented in top-down pixel art style, Slap the Rocks features 30 levels to explore, each with a maze of stones, bushes, and stumps, where your objective is to hit and slide the white rocks into holes to create a path to reach a treasure chest. Can you overcome the increasingly tricky levels on your way to victory and fortune? Slap the Rocks hits Nintendo Switch, PlayStation, and Xbox platforms May 4th. Take the role of an alien who crash lands on his way home from work in Rage Among the Stars, a precision platformer inspired by the unforgiving challenge of old-school classics. Featuring 40 rage-inducing levels packed with devious traps, near impossible jumps, mighty bosses, and fewer checkpoints than you'd probably like, everything is fine-tuned to immerse players in the Rage game experience, which of course leads to a greater sense of accomplishment when you emerge victorious. Rage Among the Stars blasts onto Nintendo Switch, PS4, and PS5 May 10th. In cyberpunk visual novel Divination, you are an enigmatic diviner, a fortune teller who uses ancient runes even as advanced technology surrounds you. Converse with clients to learn their stories, then arrange the runes they've drawn to decide how you'll respond. Good or bad, your answers could hold the power to stir the fate of humans and robots alike, to change the outcome of this tale in meaningful ways, to deal in death or help your clients avoid it. Divination arrives on Nintendo Switch, PlayStation, and Xbox platforms May 18th. Now, we'd like to introduce a brand new IP for East Asia Soft, OTOKO Cross, a fan service-fueled puzzle series celebrating the style of Japanese Otokonoko cross-dressing subculture. That's right, saucy reveal mechanics aren't just for pretty girls anymore. In its debut entry, OTOKO Cross, Pretty Boys Mahjong Solitaire, you'll meet an alluring roster of young men who start in everyday male attire, and as you clear away playfields in tile-matching Mahjong Solitaire, they'll change into increasingly daring feminine outfits, all of which are unlocked for casual viewing in dressing room mode. Do you have what it takes to win them over? OTOKO Cross, Pretty Boys Mahjong Solitaire arrives first on Steam May 19th, with console versions in the works for later this year. In physics-based puzzle platformer Blow and Fly, you'll take the role of a blowfish and explore tricky levels that require you to move and aid in tandem. Your owner's naughty son destroyed your aquarium, and now you're desperately in need of water. Use what little liquid is left on the floor to propel yourself through the air. Utilize this ability to avoid hazards such as pitfalls or spikes. Make good use of jump pads, gravity switches, keys, and more to reach every watery safe haven. Blow and Fly lands on Nintendo Switch, PlayStation, and Xbox platforms May 25th. Next, we have Freezer Pops, a visual novel where you guide a young Brazilian game developer as he tries to take control of his career and love life. After Alexander loses his university scholarship and his roommate decides to travel the world, he's faced with paying the rent on his apartment all by himself. Desperate for a quick solution, he starts selling gourmet freezer pops at a nearby beach. Visit locales throughout the neighborhood, meet romanceable guys, and get ready as the competition heats up against an old lady who runs a Freezer Pops family empire. Freezer Pops arrives on Nintendo Switch May 27. A new type of game joins the popular Pretty Girls lineup. In Pretty Girls Speed, you'll be pitted against a wide variety of beautifully daunting challengers as you try to claim victory as quickly as possible. Play cards sequentially to those on the table, or if you don't have any to use, you'll automatically have more dealt to you. Be the first to get rid of all of your cards, and you win! Pretty Girl Speed may be quick and intuitive, but it's a challenge that requires both skill and a little luck. Try your hand at Battle Mode or Challenge Mode, each with increasing difficulty. Pretty Girl Speed arrives on Nintendo Switch, PS4, and PS5 in June 2022. Invaders have descended on Earth to claim it as their new home, and in side-scrolling shoot-'em-up SPACEWING war, it's up to you to stop them. Presented in retro, 4-tone pixel art style, this action-packed space adventure blends lighthearted sci-fi storytelling and deceptively simple mechanics with the depth of weapon juggling and tons of secrets to discover. You can also customize the game's look with 40 color palettes and unlock campaigns as you progress. Experience the ultimate love letter to old-school handheld action games when SPACEWING War soars onto Nintendo Switch, PlayStation, and Xbox platforms in June 2022. The inebriated antics of Drunken Fist are back with a vengeance as you take the role of a hungover rocker in Drunken Fist 2: Zombie Hangover. Waking up in a city full of undead horrors, it's your job to stagger through the streets, pummeling zombie opponents with the fearless inhibition that only a drunken stupor can provide. Filled with blood, gore, and loss of limbs depicted in lighthearted low-poly style, this is a whimsical take on survival horror. Featuring physics-based beat-em-up action and ragdoll takedowns. Drain as many bottles as possible, find food to keep you standing, and somehow muster a bit more combat prowess than your undead opponents. Drunken Fist 2: Zombie Hangover stumbles onto Nintendo Switch, PlayStation, and Xbox platforms this June. The Robot Empire is back, and this time, they're kidnapping all the humans. In Thunder Kid 2: Null Mission, it's your duty to rescue the hostages and track down the enemy's mysterious new leader before it's too late. Take down enemy bots and massive enemies in a unique blend of retro style that can be enjoyed by casual players and speedrunners alike. Like its predecessor, Thunder Kid 2: Null Mission is a low-poly 3D run-and-gun action game with bullet hell elements. You'll have to run, jump, and shoot your way across colorful and varied 3D environments. From caves and swamps to cityscapes and more, all set to an energizing chiptune soundtrack. Thunder Kid 2: Null Mission blasts onto Nintendo Switch, PlayStation, and Xbox platforms in early summer. In twin-stick adventure shoot-'em-up Rogue Sentry, you're a sentry droid, part of the robotic legion that nearly wiped out mankind and seized control of civilization. Only now, you've gone rogue and represent humanity's last hope for survival. To fulfill your newfound purpose, you'll have to navigate the inner workings of a gigantic prison fortress, face laser-wielding machines, pick up human survivors along the way, and escape before it's too late. Presented in 1-bit pixel art style and set to a retro chiptune soundtrack, Rogue Sentry is a minimalistic and nostalgic journey with multiple endings. What fate will humanity meet on your watch? Rogue Sentry arrives on Nintendo Switch, PlayStation, and Xbox platforms in summer 2022. Side-scrolling action and classic adventure storytelling come together in Seduction: A Monk's Fate. In this horror-themed tale about a monk who must enter a haunted realm to uncover the truth of his monastery, you'll need to solve puzzles, search for clues, and escape great danger while navigating beautiful and gruesome handcrafted environments. As the young monk, you must refuse temptation at every turn in order to save a young woman's soul from being sacrificed for a dark ritual. Seduction: A Monk's Fate creeps onto Nintendo Switch, PlayStation, and Xbox platforms this summer. A young man's daughter has gone missing, and the only one capable of helping him locate her may be a small mouse named Quintus. In Quintus and the Absent Truth, join this odd pairing on their search for answers, using the differences in their size as an advantage. Puzzles that Alan and Quintus encounter often require you to work out which character to use for the task at hand. Do you need Alan's height to reach buttons, switches, and items that are out of Quintus's reach? Or is a hole simply too tight for Alan to fit through? Only by working together can they discover the truth they seek. Quintus and the Absent Truth comes to Nintendo Switch, PlayStation, and Xbox platforms in early summer 2022. And that does it for this East Asia Soft Showcase. Quite a lineup, don't you think? As always, thank you for watching, and we hope to see you playing all of these exciting new indies as they fill the months ahead.